education really is in our community. Culture, language needs to be valued, needs to be respected, and Aboriginal people employed in the department through, historically, as Aboriginal education assistants or Aboriginal education aides, and today now as Aboriginal education officers, they play a pivotal role in the engagement between teachers, parents and students within our communities. So the first aides, Aboriginal education officers, came into the department in 1973. Wollmeringel, Western New South Wales, Aunty Bino, and at Walhallow, near Tamworth there, where Aunty Heather Allen at Walhallow. And when we look at, AEOs that's been in the school for a very long time, and then and some of the AEOs going on to become teachers, like Aunty Ruth down the south coast. The work that she's done over many years, and the changes that she's actually seen, but also volunteering her time through the New South Wales AECG at a local level and also at a regional level. She's also a life member of the New South Wales AECG, and it's quite critical, the work that she's done and the value of the work that she's done over all those years.
The value of having an AEO in the school is a massive one. It's a very, very complex role, and it's one that you're able to, with the AEO's experience, able to have a better communication with the local Aboriginal community. The AEO's role is, as I said, extremely complex. They've got to work under the DET's framework. They have to work with the expectations of the school. They have to work with the expectations of the local community, and all that on trying to, or aiming to do what is best for the child, to look at their welfare, their well-being, as well as making a difference in their academic programs. So to have an AEO in the school is an extremely valuable and rich resource.
Well, my name's Ruth Simms. I'm the Aboriginal Education Officer. I'm in a permanent position, and I'm in an identified position, which I like to say, because to be in an identified position, because you're employed for Aboriginal students, that's your main focus. But then I work with all children. If I'm in a class and a non-Aboriginal student needs help, I will help them. In the old days, when we used to go on school camps, I'd say, when I'm there, I look after your child as much as I would my own child. Tyrese has really come on. You new at our school, aren't you, Tyrese? Really proud of all the children. Look, the jobs are not always easy. Not easy. And I think, as an Aboriginal person, I think you've got to put that little extra in. I don't know, somehow I think you've got to prove yourself first, because that's when I go back to when I started here. I believed I had to show myself. Although at that years in 1976, this was the first time that teachers' aides in those days were in the schools. We were new. So, and it'd be a bit daunting, I think, for some of the teachers' aides, my people, because we're going into an environment where there might not have been another Aboriginal person. So it wasn't easy, but I think if you've got the work ethics and the values, and I think knowing who you are is important, because if you try to bung it on, you come undone. I'm a firm believer in communicating. I like teamwork. I think that's important, because often one person can't do it on their own. I like consultation. I think when you work together and be open and honest and transparent, the outcomes would be better. I really do think both things if you can get them, and I don't think you always do, culture and academic, but also the known in the community. That's an important part of your role, to be known in the community. And go downtown, say hello to people, see you in Woolies, any shop, but not try to be flash. So this gets back to your actions will speak for you, not big noting yourself. Like you might have that piece of paper and doing your training, which is great, but I'll take me. I've got a diploma of education, but without that, I'm still me. I know who I am, I know where I come from, I know my culture. Like I said earlier, my mum taught us about gunjans, told us stories, took us to the bush to get 5 corners, which is bush medicine. Look at the back of the leaf, see the veins, you can tell the back of the leaf. Or inkweed. Inkweed was for boils or sores. Or go to the rocks. She could put a fish line down a crevice, little crevice, and catch a muckindi. And then she'd make soup. Oh, that's another story I could tell you, Joe, but we haven't got time. But all of that, I'll go back to it's like a spider web. Everything comes in together. So all these boomerangs, they're made from different timbers. Now this is the mangrove one. That's the real one. And see the boomerangs, I like this one. I like this one. If you look at them, see how they're shaved there and they're shaved down there? That helps add to the flight and the balance. And I say to the children, put your hand up if you've been on a plane. Because if you look, the flaps go down for takeoff and go up or something when you land. Now if that doesn't happen, that plane can crash. That's the science with it. The same for the boomerang. I don't want to see Koori kids, well I hope I don't see it, that they learn all academic and where's their culture? Because later on they'll come looking for culture. If they're not getting it at home, then we as the public education system, and because the Aboriginal Education Policy is a mandatory document, we should be teaching that. So if you can encompass the two, academic and social, for children, and recognise they're maybe low socioeconomic, you're going to have wonderful children to grow up to be fantastic human beings. Good morning everybody. I'd like to introduce 5 beautiful children from Nowra Public School, and they've taken extracts from Paul Keating's speech. Thank you.
As the British moved across the country, they drove Indigenous Australians away. They introduced diseases that killed thousands of them. They sent out raiding parties to capture or kill anyone who resisted them.
Since the arrival of Phillip, governments always made decisions about Indigenous Australians, where they could live, who they could marry, what work they could do, even where they could keep their own children. Many laws were meant to help them, but even those assumed that they were no longer in charge of their own futures.
We cannot confidently say that we have succeeded if we have not managed to extend opportunity and care, dignity and hope to the Indigenous people of Australia, the Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people.
We cannot give Indigenous Australians up without giving up many of our own deeply held values, much of our identity and indeed our own humanity.
Didn't Australia provide opportunity and care for the dispossessed Irish? Did it not for the poor of Britain, the refugees from war and famine and persecution in the countries of Europe and Asia? Isn't it reasonable to say that if we can build a prosperous and remarkably harmonious multicultural society in Australia, surely we can find just solutions to the problems which we set for the first Australians, the people to whom the most injustice has been done?
Chook, 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 chook. Good morning, Mrs. Hen. How many chickens have you got? Madam, I've got 10. 4 of them are yellow and 4 of them are brown, and 2 of them are speckled, the nicest in the town.
You know, I try to make learning fun and make it enjoyable. That group this morning, like, they've just come on so much, but I have a laugh with them and we laugh together. So I think, I don't know, just if you say hello to children, when they get adults, they remember. If you do something good, they'll remember. The AECG has been my greatest teacher. The AECG. I had a good education growing up, went to school at La Perouse and mission school at Rosebery Park, but the AECG has been fundamental in me learning more to do my job and to be vocal or outright speaking up for things that if I think this doesn't seem right, can we do it better? How can we do it better? But the AECG, I strongly encourage anybody who's watching this documentary, get involved with your AECG. If you get new staff come into a school, sometimes they don't know your role. Sometimes they've never worked in a school where there's an Aboriginal person. So I believe it's extremely important that when you first start school, that you're given the opportunity to stand up and say, all right, well the principal will say, we have an Aboriginal Education Officer in the school, this is their role, this is why they're employed. And I think then, like the new teachers or casual teachers would know, all right, we've got this person in the school, they're there to assist, I can call on them. But unless you're told, you don't know.
The leadership also needs to understand the complexities of that particular person within the school and be aware that, hey, sometimes the AEO is in a very difficult position in their communication with the community and the school. And sometimes it's hard. It's a hard position. I've been in a number of schools where we've had AEOs, and they can be under quite a bit of pressure from the community, but they need to know that needs to be communicated with the leadership within the school. The leadership needs to take those messages on and consider the best way to support the AEO and support the community, and the pinnacle is to support the kids. It's the number one concern.
Now, in my lifetime of 40 years of service, there's two principles that really stand out. And one of them's deceased, but I'd like to say his name because I think, for me, I'd like to acknowledge him, Mr. Persilia. When he first came to this school, you know what he said? He said, I was pleasantly surprised to see you've got an Aboriginal worker in the school. That was his words he said, I was pleasantly surprised. And the other principal was here for 15 years. They were just amazing because they could see what you were doing and the value you were, not only for Koori kids, but for all children. The longest serving principal stayed here for 15 years, and he was instrumental in helping me get my medal because they had to write up the citation, and the retired headmistress from the school, and they told me that my citation was up with the highest. And the principal came with me and some of my family to Parliament House down near the Botanical Gardens, Government House, to get my medal. And there was a man there that used to be head of the Board of Studies, and he was talking to me. I can't remember his name, but he was there as well. It comes back to the hierarchy within the department. We work for a big organisation. Aboriginal education is a compulsory, the policy? It's a mandatory document. So therefore it's up to principals to see that their staff are injecting Aboriginal perspectives into the curriculum. I think it's the department's hierarchy. Just go down the line and say, all right, to principals or regional directors, is your school doing this? Or when principals look at a teacher's program, have you put that into your program? So I think everyone has a role to play. One person can't do it on their own. We've got to work together, and I think the leadership should come from the top to say, this is what I want to see in your program. And then we'll see how Aboriginal students are going in the schools, as well as culturally, academically and socially. I think they're three parts that we as human beings, and probably people in positions that can make a difference, should make a difference. Not sit back because someone else is not doing it, but because you want to do it. You want to make a difference. And that's, I think, what we're all here for.
She's got soul. She's got soul. Yes, she's got soul. She's got soul. That certain something you can't control. And when she's near, so plain to see, she's got it, and it's got me. Now, Brenda Leah's got it, and Connie Francis too. Every time they sing, you feel it through and through. That is the reason why they never miss. And my baby's got it each time we kiss. She's got soul, yes, she's got soul. That certain something you can't control. And when she's near, so plain to see, she's got it, and it's got me. Now, Elvis Presley's got it. Man, he's got that sound. Chubby Checker's got it. Rennie Twister, round and around. That is the reason why they never miss. And my baby's got it each time we kiss. She's got soul. Yes, she's got soul. That's certain something you can't control. And when she's near, so plain to see, she's got it, and it's got me. Well, she's got it, and it's got me. Oh, she's got it, and it's got me.